course, SKUM Gaming versus Barrage Esports. And now that the knife round's under the way, we are ready to go.
SKUM versus Barrage. I'm looking to see, well, just taking a look at the leaderboard of the information I have, I'm expecting to see Barrage take this one. SKUM have lost 4 and won 4 maps so far during this tournament, so you know, I'm expecting to see them kind of take the victory fairly easily here. It could very easily swing back and forth because so far their performances have been, well, relatively the same throughout this tournament. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting matchup either way. This is also going to be your first foray into UK Counter-Strike, so I'm looking forward to see how you do find it here. So it will be one diffuse kit on the SKUM Gaming side, other than that armor and a utility buy for the Barrage side, which Peto is already going to be using going into the B site here.
Ooh, that's a nice opening headshot. Filler is going to find himself the first. Looking for more as the man from the back of Checkers continues to fire away. Muffin only going to be able to find a bit of a response here as the T side take themselves a man advantage. With a minute 20 still on the clock, the bomb should go down, and the after plants are already firm. We've got one player out towards the backyard of B main, another additionally underneath heaven. So for these players on the CT side to puncture their way through of that CT spawn, it will be tough. We of course have one player for Barrage in the back of the site dealing damage. Shanked finds himself the headshot, and it's all down to all eyes on me. 4 HP, not gonna happen. Oh my goodness, at least finds himself one headshot. Looking for an additional frag here as he continues to push on in. I thought for a moment he may have had it there, Jay, but no siree. It will be 1-0 for Barrage Esports.
Indeed, great aggression coming out from the Barrage side, charging straight on through into the SKUM Gaming defensive, even out towards the tree area and just shutting down whatever opportunity they could have had to retake. And it just came down to a 3 HP dream, which was not going to happen today. Pistols out for SKUM, not going to be a force buy, just the upgrades. Meanwhile, Barrage, 3 UMPs, AK, Mac 10, very standard stuff from this T side here.
This is actually nice to see. SKUM Gaming not going to force the buy down. Just going to upgrade into a few pistols, no Kevlar, no utility off of the current moment. And they are just going to go for a bit of an information play inside of B main. But having met resistance already at the minute 30 mark, they're just more than content to lie in wait. They know there's terrorists nearby. They do, of course, still have these close range pistols, and so they shouldn't fall back. They should continue to try and take this duel to find themselves an opener and potentially a primary weapon. We can see that Velox has already been dropped down to 40 health, however, so they are cautious and still wary of their flank. 2 players over towards A main to keep an eye on the rear of the caboose, but still 1 minute, not all too much time as they've already worked their way through half of the round.
Yeah, Muffin's already going to get tagged straight through the smoke back towards Checkers. 9 HP on him. And, well, the first pick will not go in favour of SKUM. It looks like Barrage are pretty much just setting themselves up on an A-site hit here. It looks like should just be another standard run over for an eco round. It's going to be Hawkins over towards the forklift. Ducks holding out towards the site. Hawkins challenges. Wong will take him down. It's going to be Duck taking down one at the very least. But Neto comes down with a nice headshot and the Mac 10. The bomb will go down and SKUM up for a very hard retake with no armour, no utility, and pistols at the reins. It just, yeah, like I said, probably just another round on the board for Barrage. But something like it might come of things. That being said, though, SKUM not setting up for very standard angles for a retake. Shank's getting filler, looking for Muffin, who will actually 1D him over towards middle. 3-on-2 retake, and it looks like SKUM Gaming have already given up, just recovering 1 UMP for the next round.
Now, that was a round there for Barrage where they had felt out both of the bomb sites. They had presence on each side of the map, but then ultimately decided to go into that A bomb site. And I think that's the better idea, because if you think of the information that they have, there are Deagles pushed up aggressively towards B main. They've already dealt damage to a terrorist knowingly. The odds are they could have either rotated a 3rd player over, or even then, the more deadly weapons are presumably at the B bomb site. You're not going to be expecting all 5 players to play off of the Deags, and if you can avoid that one-shot headshot, then by all means, you can generally increase your odds of success. So, they head out to the A site, they overwhelm those P250s up close and personal, which did deal additional damage, but didn't take any frags. SKUM Gaming, 0-2, still nonetheless will come into this one with a bit of a fighting chance, or at least more so than the previous round. 3 players going to be off of the Kevlar. We've got a double flashbang, and still that retrieved ump in the hands of all eyes on you. He is pushed up close inside of middle, trying to make contact to anybody on the boost or not, but there's nobody here. Barrage Esports has gone back into the exact same standard hold that we saw in the previous round, just patiently waiting outside of B main.
Yeah, well, that same standard angles from SKUM, not changing anything into the last few rounds. 3 players on the B site. And as well as that, there is also NK. All right, we should add this, just changes his name, actually. It's not all eyes on me, it's NK. Holding close range over towards the counter boost area. Wong's going to start things off, taking down 1. And SKUM Gaming, well, their fighting chance still in it. There's still the players with the armor in play, holding out towards A site. And yeah, once again, that player position all the way up towards the top of middle. And Barrage, well, taking that first pick to start things off. Hawkins goes falling. And it looks like they'll just go onto an empty B, so get this bomb down, and SKUM will have to set up a very nice retake. NK will take down Wong at least, open up the vents area and start moving on through for a defensive. There's a Neto coming on through, taking down Muffin. Velox gets one back, and well, now SKUM in a 2-on-4 retake. Not a whole lot to work with here. There is Duck with a UMP, but he's going to get taken down very, very quickly. So now Filler all left alone back towards Tree. 1 versus 4. Very similar situation that we saw in the first round, except this time Barrage have 3 AKs and a MAC-10 to fend off this retake from Filler, who doesn't even have any Kevlar going into this one. It will be Neto looking to push on through and should just get himself $600 in the bank. No, Filler will take down the headshot. But now the rest of Barrage, they know exactly where he is.
So, at this point, we're going to watch 3 terrorists escape with their lives and around in the pocket of Barrage Esports. But I think that could have been a very different turn of events had those 2 UMPs inside of middle just waited. Let's see. CT side, there's still 3 players up. Of course, the T side had the man advantage and were going to plant the bomb, and it's still not been put in. But they have 2 umps inside of mid, and 1 player pushes vent before the second man is even by his side. So a bit of disjointed CT side pushing in that sense, but I do understand that they're trying to catch them off guard inside of checkers before they can find their after plant position. However, it's B-site cash. You know those terrorists have to exit. If they had just put themselves inside of T-spawn, they could have walked away with maybe not even weapons, but at least additional damage. It's in the past, though, so we'll let it slide. 3-0, Barrage Esports holding the lead as we come into the first gun round of the match. Nice and hefty. No AWP, however, on either side. Interesting, though. Wong going to pick himself up that SG. And it will be a T-side split into the A-bomb site. Actually quite quick compared to what we had seen from previous rounds. It's going to be SKUM trying to hold the line. Duck up close, spraying wildly, not able to find anything, but he does have 2 teammates by his side. The shadow gives way to the first one as NK takes down an additional kill. It is Wong to find the bit of a response here. Hawking spraying high. Velox takes the frag, and a 3v3 is what we remain in.
Tagged up damage on 2 different players. The Molotov comes out. Wong's burning away, and the smoke will just about save him. And he's going to peek out. Nice kill onto NK. Back to a 2-on-3 situation. Even more tag damage comes in, and it just seems like no one can kill this man. Peto spots out Muffy coming on through. The frag grenade will take down Wong. And now we're down to a 1-on-2 situation, which Filler just cannot win. And Peto takes a very simple and quick and crisp double kill to bring Barrage the 4th.
That was a really nice just kind of turret position from him in the back of quad. Just bottles up, waits for the push, hits the first, and then even through the edge of the smoke is able to find himself that second kill. But we should talk about how Barrage just changed the pace of the game incredibly quickly with that 1 round. They had been feeling out the B site in a very passive fashion, and suddenly, right into the guns, a rapid ape take. SKUM Gaming going to respond back by putting 3 players in this direction early on. Of course, they are playing off of the pistol Kevlar for the most part. Getting themselves inside of Squeaky is a good idea, seeing as they can try to close the distance, but Peto knows better. He will stay back, take the engagement, find 1 headshot as Muffin actually returns the favor off of his deagle, but unfortunately for Duck on his retreat back into the bomb site, he goes down, leaving it on NK as Velox additionally takes the trade on Truck. Here he is, though, up close. There's a second. Muffin going to do the same, but the CZ runs out of bullets, and suddenly these 2 Ts have been sectioned off. But they need to slow down the pace of the round. There's still a minute to play. Muffin 2 frags to his name and looking to add some more.
Deagle in hand, no Kevlar. He might just have the drop on Barrage, though. He's actually going to go ahead and back off instead. There are rifles and well, actually, I was just going to say rifles dropped around the A site. He can pick up one and try use that to work with, or maybe just save in this next round. But he's picked that one up. 1 versus 2 is definitely doable, but with that, no Kevlar and no armor whatsoever on his site, it's going to be a very difficult retake coming in as the bomb will go down on the B site or start to pick into the middle area, and Peto should be able to spot him out and take him down. Very nicely done there. Quick, crisp spray, and Barrage win that 5th round on not only just the fact of an eco, but because I mean SKUM brought it close, but they are also incredibly good at keeping those trades together, both in pistol rounds, in eco rounds, and in general rifle rounds as well. So great round from them, showing off their skill. Now the AWPs will come out to play. Duck's going to have that one for the SKUM Gaming side, and Wong will be taking it for the Barrage.
Yet again, a 3-2 split for the Barrage Esports side. Majority of those players heading into the B-bomb site. So previously, when we had seen this setup, they had played slowly, but already they've been able to find themselves an opening frag. Velox taking the head of Duck as he was peering in from checkers. Now, Filler is still inside of the vents, seeing as, of course, the CTs had gone for a heavy mid presence early on and not met any resistance. So that's an interesting position for him to play off of, and we'll see NK actually in the back of Checkers trying to bait the push in. If you see an AWP player in the back of Checkers boxes, then instinctually the terrorist side will generally try to close the distance and really try and pressure him out of that position. But that's exactly what he wants in this scenario, seeing as there's a player to support, but he takes the first shot, doesn't hit the player through the box, and suddenly all of a sudden it is down to Filler. He drops in, takes the first, but Velox denies any additional kills, and the 4 versus 2 to the favor of Barrage should seal the deal.
Once again, well traded on the site. It leaves a 2 versus 4. There's nothing that Muffin and Hawkins can do. They just have to back off and look for exits. I mean, Barrage just, well, they're using their names to their advantage. They're barraging on towards these sites, shutting down any defensive. And SKUM, NK tried to take that first pick with the AWP. That worked out so horribly to his favor. It just couldn't find it in that case. The box is not bangable, so Hawkins and Muffin holding back towards Squeaky. Just have to save. They have no choice. And Barrage take a very nice 6th. Looking at the economies of these two teams, what SKUM Gaming should be on a relative eco here. Can force buy with those 2 rifles, but this is going to be a very difficult round. Pretty much to say it, almost a given at this point.
You actually got to give extra additional props here to Wong in that situation because, I mean, NK, you said, he doesn't get the bang through the box because you're not able to penetrate the center of it. Had he just gone for the headshot on the player who was standing still, then he would have actually picked up that frag. But Wong, within the split second of NK firing off his op shot, goes for the wide peak and picks up that opening kill. And then suddenly we see how Barrage Esports are able to just use the numbers advantage to overwhelm the remainder of the B site defense. This round, it will be an aggressive peek inside of middle. Wong off of the op, drop this time around. But the flashbangs keeping all players blind as Pedo additionally pushes his way out to his demise. 5 versus 3 straight out the gates here, Jay. Barrage could be facing a losing round, but we'll see as Neto is already boosted up top and high. Finds himself 4v3, at least a little bit closer.
Yeah, Neto using that position that Barrage really love to use, waiting out for SKUM Gaming to push and go aggressive. And SKUM, they like to go aggressive, so in that case it works to their favor. It's a 2-for-1 trade, as a 4-on-3 situation does come into effect for Barrage. Executions and rushes need to be timed properly, and they need to be precise. It looks like they're going to be hitting up the B site. 17 HP on Velox may be a liability. They've got themselves a little bit of utility. 1 flashbang to get onto the site, and a smoke to block off, well, either Heaven or Tree. A grenade as well to do some serious damage, and 2 Molotovs, probably not going to be that useful unless you're trying to flush people out of the site, but it does look like they're setting themselves up for a B hit here. Here come the utility, and already an early rotation coming in from the SKUM side to try and back up their fellows over on the B side. Shanked starts things off, takes down Muffin. A kill comes in for Filler, takes down Velox. Neto, 3k to defend the site, and he will do it. It will be successful, and SKUM will finally get their first on the board at 1-6 to the favor of the T side.
And I mean, you really look at the economy here for Barrage, it's actually not in the best of places. Wong's going to buy in. He bottoms out his economy, seeing, of course, as he's the opera, he's been spending mad cash. But 5 AKs across the board, and the most amount of money in the bank is 2.7 thousand on Velox. That's after a 6-round spree of victories. So SKUM Gaming in an actual position here to suddenly turn the tide of battle and put additional rounds on the board, but they're certainly going to need this conversion point. And Duck is already being pressured here towards A. There is nades aplenty raining forward and bullets as well. He does reposition himself in the open, trying to find a bit of an angle as he's dealt a bit of damage. Hawking's here to support, and as is NK, but they line up for Wong, and he knocks them over. It is 4v2, T-side on the site with the bomb planted after plants yet again, already in position. Velox going to be putting himself behind the forklift. So Muffin also dropping, suddenly leaves Filler on his lonesome 1v4 with some grenades to play, but no, he takes one to the head, and suddenly Barrage Esports have used this hard reset to demolish SKUM Gaming. That one, so incredibly quick. What had we been seeing thus far, Jay? It was constant slow B plays and then the occasional instant A site hit, and that's exactly what resets SKUM Gaming. That one's got to hurt.
Indeed, this is a huge huge weakness for SKUM that we've been seeing, especially at the recent LAN that just went past this past weekend, Epic LAN. They had some major problems trying to string rounds together, and just general little mistakes cost them some big matches that ended up making them lose the entire tournament. And as a result, after that huge round from Barrage, back to a hard reset. Like you said, 4 versus 5 already. Muffin's been picked off. Only Pistols, CZs, P250s are out from the play, and that's already going to enable players like Wong to just peek on through towards the site and take challenges so successfully successfully lost 3 HP during that push. The bomb is down, and this one shouldn't be one that SKUM should be winning here. Wong and Shank pick up 2 more. Left to Filler once again in a 1 versus 5 with a P250 looking for an exit frag. He's not going to find it. Shank takes him down. Barrage take their 8th and win the half, and 8-1 scoreline here.
At this point, SKUM Gaming have to contemplate what they can do. If they've been hitting this slow B play, then that gives them space to actually go for a counter boost, and I don't believe we've seen that as of yet. So when they get back into the gun rounds, I'd like to see that kind of an initiative. We've seen them go into the squeaky push on pistol rounds, but never so much the gun rounds. And if you think about ways to shutting down a fast A split, it's to cut off one of the 2 prongs of attack. And if you're able to just get yourself into that doorway, take that close range duel, suddenly the players in A main are isolated. They do go for the boost over the top this time around with the pistols, and it is Muffin who inside of middle is able to find himself the AK. Immediately Barrage is going to transition into the A site because they're scared, and Shanked with Velox by his side, Pedo to boot, able to find 3, but the CTs were in position there to potentially shut out a couple extra frags. Hawking's going to get himself into A main, seeing as he was the player boosted up and over. Filler sectioned off by the Molotov, loses his teammate, and yet again sits in a 1v4 clutch. This time around, though, not anything near as much to play with, and Superstar Neto is already up close and personal. Takes one to the head, though. Down he goes. The 5-7 finds a second, looking for a third as Pedo peeks wide, and now his hands are on the AK. He should fall back to survive.
Definitely, but Velox has already cut him off and takes him down. 9 rounds on the board for Barrage. But that being said, SKUM, good round out of them, taking down 3 players, doing some damage to the economy. And if we see another 6 streak like we saw during the early part of this half, then we could be seeing another early eco come out from Barrage if SKUM end up managing, well, if they end up managing to control the economy just as well as they have done before. AWP out for Wong this time on the Barrage side, and SKUM will have the full M4 buy-up, so money's just not sitting quite right with them. They'll have to build it up. But meanwhile, the aggressive play actually will come out from the B site. Velox is going to get caught off with the blindness. We'll still try and challenge on through. Filler with the early tags will take him down on just 4 HP. So SKUM already finding a great first pick. Neto doesn't spot out NK, who's hiding behind the forklift, and he shuts him down as well. So suddenly SKUM, they've turned this round around very, very quickly into a 3-on-5 situation. And Barrage, only 3 players left alive, have to hit this B site with a supreme disadvantage going into. And it will be Filler holding with the back lines, Shanked, and the rest of them are all going to be holding up towards A main and Squeaky. It's going to be 1 pick coming in from Filler. Dot gets Shanked, and Peto now left in a 1 versus 5. Not something we see very often during this matchup, but it will be nonetheless, as it will be NK challenging, taps, and will take him down. 2 rounds for the CT side.
I mean, let's be real. It's a 9-2 scoreline already. Barrage Esports doing a fantastic job. But SKUM Gaming, if they were going to put additional rounds back onto the board, that is the exact kind of outcome they needed. 5 players survive at the end of that round as they find themselves the second on the board, which leaves them a bit of money in the bank, and we've seen them do more with less. So if they lose this round, and only if, they will still have some cash flow to play with. Last time the T side lost a round like this, they transitioned quickly into an A take. This time around, it seems as though they've got their eyes set on B. Wong pushing through the smoke, finds the first. Hawking's down. Filler trades the frag, and now he's going to have to use his utility to try and survive. Velox completely blinded as he drops, allowing for Filler to throw another grenade. The T side stagnating here as Filler's holding the line, and NK's here to support. This was a great hold. It started off by losing a player into the 4v5, but SKUM Gaming now in the driving seat as Pedo once again in a clutch opportunity. 1 versus 4, no utility to play off of, and already the majority of the CTs here. So Duck finds himself an easy pick through the smoke, and SKUM Gaming a 3rd round.
Filler is just a powerful player over on that B site. He can hold that one all on his own and still give SKUM enough time to rotate and get their team in for even more further support like we saw with NK. And he's just such a great player to play from the back of that site. And with the M4 as well, he's incredible in that particular position. And I doubt that he'll be moving very much further from the case. Barrage up with pistols this time. Going to be a Quasi. Armor out. Tech 9's CZ's P250s over towards the A site. It looks like with the utility, the smokes and the flashbangs, they will set up for a quick execution, trying to take the close range fights here. Early grades out from Hawkins. Can't find any tag damage or kills. It will be Shanked tapping his way on through the smoke, but isn't going to find a whole lot. And even then, SKUM are a little bit twitchy. Muffin starts things off, takes down 1. Hawkins takes down Peto, and it's going to be Muffin taking a nice double kill. The USP is out, and Hawkins takes down another, leaving Velox alone in a 1 versus 5. Manages to secure the bomb plant at least, which for Barrage is what they were hoping for, so they'll have that much going for them, but it will be a 4th round on the board regardless for SKUM Gaming.
Another round where all 5 players survive, so you can see how the economy of SKUM Gaming is looking great right now. We've got 3 players, above $8,000. They have all the cash they could need for the rest of the game. So this is 2 full buys for SKUM Gaming to potentially find a 6-9, which isn't really that bad. Considering, of course, that they lost the pistol and then were hard reset after finding their first round, they can still easily bounce back. We've seen them competitive. We've seen Filler come in with a lot of big multi-frags, and even all across the scoreline, it's been each player stepping up when push has come to shove. But this time, Barrage not going to be playing off an AWP to counter that of Duck. They do still have Wong off of the SG, which is always known to be slightly more favored than an M4 when dueling versus Oppers. But Barrage Esports slowing down this round. Yet again, going to spread themselves thin. Keep an eye for the pushes. Just kind of go back to control the pace. Like we saw at the very beginning of this match, SKUM Gaming in these last few have been able to go for these fast rotations to hold the bomb sites. If you think about Filler calling for reinforcements, they arrive, they hold, they win. Same in that previous round with the A site. They rotate, they're able to get all of those kills, and Barrage Esports haven't really been going for these pump fakes. They haven't been rotating bombs back and trying to catch the players with a numbers disadvantage. We'll see if they try to do that here in this round, but it does seem as though they're just going to favor that A bomb site yet again, which is perfectly fine because they have no reason to assume that SKUM Gaming have left anything on the B site. Nobody made a word of noise until now as they execute forward into A. Hawking's able to find the first. The players to the back of Forklift have fallen. Duck, after finding 1 kill with the op, is going to be trade frag shanked. The player of the round here. 3 frags to his name as the bomb is planted in the 3v2.
Not a bad retake, at least, coming in from SKUM. Yes, they're at the disadvantage, but this is definitely the easier site to retake. It's going to be Wong that starts things off with a very nice headshot up to Filler. Once again, a star player here on the SKUM Gaming side for this match in particular. 14 kills to 8, the top fragger over at the server now. We'll start things off, sprays down Wong, looks for the second nose that shanked his back behind quad. And Neto with just 15 HP is going to see if he can spot him out from the right-hand side. Doesn't check the angle. And it will be Barrage taking double digits, 10-4 in the last round of the half there. The buyback will come in from SKUM. They have enough money to do so, and NK, despite being at the disadvantage, is still going to get out that auto sniper regardless here for round number 15.
It'll be interesting to see where he puts that, actually, because Cash is one of those maps that, I don't know about an auto sniper. There's no real big memorable moment that we have a kind of, quadruple spray down or any kind of clip like that. So it seems like he's just going to try to anchor the back of quad, generally where you'd position an AWP player, and Wong, swapping out the SG, is going to find himself the opening of this map with that AWP. Takes down the first. Yet again, we have Barrage Esports just spreading their numbers thinly, and then just watching for pushes, punishing initiatives, just as they had done. Duck, again, the first casualty out of middle. And now they lie in wait. Once they decide to group themselves together and go for the execution, they'll be playing off of the numbers advantage, and the real question will remain, do SKUM Gaming rotate in time to try and stop them? Again, the big question. NK in the back of quad with this auto sniper. If anyone's going to tilt the numbers advantage back to your favor, it's him.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be down to his play in particular. And even if the Barrage even expect it, actually going to flash him out and he'll tap away. He'll reveal his hand to the Barrage side. And, well, already that might prompt out a different strategy. Rotations coming on through. Barrage going to leave that A site on its own. Hit up towards B, and they'll have to risk taking on Filler and Hawkins. Hawkins spots out the first. Takes down Petto. 20 HP. Takes the spray down anyway onto Velox despite the health disadvantage. Nice double kill. Will peek out onto Shanked, who will shut him down. Now up to the 2 players. Filler and Muffin in a back of sight and tree to fend off the Barrage push. 30 seconds on the clock. Bomb is actually rotating, so I didn't even anticipate this at all. Now it will be, well, what will be a rotation coming in? It will be NK that hears out the information and will try to cover off the cross, but does he expect it? It actually will be Shanked, peeking out, takes the first, drops the auto sniper, and the bomb will be able to go down on site very successfully from Barrage. A monster play that may just tip this round back to their advantage.
There goes an additional frag. Wong off of the op takes him down, so it's all up to Filler here. 1v3 in the final round of the opening half. Wong's already holding the angle. He gets headshotted, but not that it's going to matter. Down he goes. Barrage Esports with a fantastic mid-round call. I mean, you can see the multiple decision-making process that happened in that round. The moment that they try to get themselves into position to the A split, the bomb was there, but the auto sniper starts to ring out, seeing as it was flash. So he's not able to catch them with the element of surprise. He announces his position and his weaponry, and immediately they rotate back to the B site. But this is exactly what SKUM Gaming had been hoping for, seeing as they had the crossfire set in the back of sight and also that player inside of vents. Each of those players can keep their eyes fixated on one of the two doorways and just try to take down the numbers, dwindle them down, catch them off guard, and they did. But ultimately, it was the boost back into vent with the bomb and the rotation to the A site that cost them. NK had given up his position back towards quad and repositioned into the truck because he wanted to be on that fast rotate to the B bomb site. So multiple decisions made, and ultimately it turns out into the double-digit scoreline for Barrage, 11-4.
Nicely done from the T side, a very dominant T side from Barrage. So SKUM may have a few problems going into this next half here. They have to have just as good of a T side to try and make it work. And well, their T sides can come into question, especially when you take a look at some of their stats from Epic, and it hasn't been the greatest in the world. So this will definitely be a challenge going on against the Barrage side. But even taking a look at the Barrage side, their general form has just been so good in comparison. 15-11 on Wong has been the top fragger alongside Shanked and Filler himself. But I mean, taking a look at those stats, you can see that the SKUM Gaming side is a very imbalanced going down the scoreboard.
That is true. That is very true, actually. It's very much lopsided. Filler, I mean, I think that's because the most success that we saw from SKUM Gaming was over towards that B bomb site. Multiple rounds, we'd have Barrage try to execute in off of that slow play when they just kind of creep their way forward and then at the last minute go for it. And that always puts Filler in a position where he's playing a spot that either you get multiple frags or you go down for nothing, and then the rest of your team has to come in on the retake. And he successfully shut them out multiple times. There was times where they were able to body him over, and then the retake wasn't successful, so there was rounds won on the B bomb site. But for the most part, it was either Filler taking initiative stops or pushing into B main even and trying to get those opening frags. So definitely need a bit more numbers from the rest of the team. But then again, when you're losing rounds, it's hard to find those frags, a lot of disadvantaged positions. And again, the money wasn't really their game to play in the opening half of the game. We have that pistol and the 2 conversion points as expected. The first gun round, which puts you back onto a save in the 5th. You know, the 6th round comes down to a bomb explosion with a 3 versus 2, so it's a save decision. Finally, the CTs put a round on the board, and then it's a hard reset, economically speaking, which allows for Barrage to get another 2. So I think the scoreline's actually a bit deceptive in the sense that this game was closer than an 11-4, but ultimately the rounds go on to the way of Barrage Esports. So if a pistol and conversion can be found by SKUM, then suddenly we could have a match on our hands. But we'll see, seeing as already we have SKUM Gaming pushing out towards this B site, gonna be making contact. Shanked up close and personal, Velox by his side, takes down the first, looks for the second, but ducks, able to find himself the return. Now Shank's gonna fall back into the B bomb site. He's flirting with death at this moment, seeing as there are 4 terrorists continually engaging, including the bomb, which is now dropped. He has done a good job of surviving, but only until now. Wong also toppled to the 3v2.
Duck with a 3K, excellently finally shutting down the defensive of the Barrage side. Do they expect the player towards the back of the site? Neto, it will be Filler that spots him out, takes him down with a headshot, and now it will be Peto down to a 1-on-3 situation. An eerily similar play coming in from the SKUM Gaming side, an eerily similar result as a result. Peto, 1 versus 3, gonna go for this retake. No armor on his side, but he has got that defuse kit, so he's got the extra time to work with. Will get tagged up, taps away on towards NK, but Duck's gonna go aggressive, spots him out, and takes him down for the 5th round. The pistol conversion to the SKUM Gaming side.
We've actually seen Peto in many clutch opportunities. Seeing as he only has 7 deaths, that just goes to tell you this guy is always alive. And unfortunately for him, they're never a 1v1 or 1v2. It seems to always be heavily stacked against him. So I don't think we've had the opportunity to watch him shine in those scenarios as of yet. But keep an eye on it, because he is there quite often. Barrage Esports, 11-5. They come into this one with some pistols, with a scout on Velox. And that's actually a bot scout, seeing as he has armor to play with as well. He's going to have to be a key player in this round, and he's already peering into the B bomb site, standing on his lonesome with 3 players off pistols stacked A. So this is a cool little setup from Barrage, a nice little attempt to offset SKUM, who have done now exactly what Barrage were doing to them. In the conversion rounds, when you know you're playing versus pistols, take things slow. They're waiting for a kind of pistol push, any kind of initiative here from Barrage that would put them at a man disadvantage. They've got an entire minute plus to play with. Why force the issue? There's a kill off of Hawking's grenade. That's interesting. Drops one player off of the A bomb site, sees another man over towards quad, so he knows that these players are playing close angles, and I think this will just lead into SKUM Gaming going towards that B bomb site, seeing as they're already in preparation. Velox, again, scout and armor, but now he's stuck inside of checkers.
A very similar AWP situation coming in for Velox, spots out NK, and he won't make NK's mistake, aims for the head, turns it back to a 4-on-4, so Barrage might make this very, very winnable here. Velox with a scout play, he can be a very powerful scout player. Now, it will be Hawkins on the lurk, expecting the rotation. He's trying to cover off this rotation and will line them up. Taps away, we'll be able to see what you can find. Shank will take down Hawkins, and Duck will chime back onto Velox. Petto with a 1 dig, looking for even more spots out the second. But Muffin will be able to shut him down with the Galil play. 2 versus 2, AK in the hands of Duck. Taps one, takes the other. And Wong and Shank fall. 6 rounds on the board for SKUM Gaming, but Barrage did do at least a fair bit of damage during that last round. 2 players stay alive. They'll have to force the buy it back into this next one.
Unfortunately for Barrage, they put so much into that previous round that they're not going to be able to get anything whatsoever, so it is a very disciplined buy here. Absolute bare bones minimum. 5 USPs, not even a flashbang to try and get themselves into position. They're just going to go pure vanilla, and here have SKUM Gaming taken mid already, just barreling their way towards their enemies. Firm control this round. I mean, they've got double Mac 10, so these are the 2 players who should be looking to take actual risky plays. You don't really need those weapons moving forward, and you can make so much cash if you're able to find CTs on the other side of the crosshairs. But for the time being, there's nobody to be found. Counter-terrorists very much favoring this B bomb site, stacking it up quite heavily. 3 players nearby, with 2 already in fast rotations outside of Zed on the CT side, where currently Hawkins decides to get aggressive. He's got the Mac 10, closes the distance, finds the headshot, whips back, takes Pedo, and there's the second. Absolutely denied are the first 2 players from Barrage Esports. SKUM going to continue to pry into the B bomb site. Hawkins finds himself a 3rd. This is so much money being made, and yet 2 players remain in the back of the bomb site. So now it's up to Filler. He takes 1 off his SMG and the second. All 5 kills found with those Mac 10s. That is a great economic advantage for SKUM Gaming. This is the start they needed to actually surmount a comeback. It is only a 4-point lead.
$3,000 in the bank for the T side. Well played with those Mac 10 SKUM now. We'll face off against the full buy of the Barrage side. AWP out for Wong. He's going glass cannon because he's opted for the defuse kit. And in this case, well, he'll be holding out towards the B site. So very passive from him. That AWP won't be at forefront in the defensive of the Barrage side. AKs other than that for the SKUM side. Muffin will still hold on to the Galil in middle. And right now playing for first contact, playing for first pick. In fact, is Barrage tempting the idea of going aggressive. Shanked up close towards the A main area. And now actually taking a look at him over on the A site. He's up on that boost position. So if SKUM do decide to go towards this A site, which would be a very popular pick for them, then this one could be shut down very, very quickly. We've seen this position used in very many good situations and circumstances to shut down any T-side push. So for Barrage, they're playing this one a little bit out of left field, which could catch SKUM Gaming offside, as it does look like they are, in fact, going to be going for that A play here.
They've already got mid control, and that's really the key here. Hawkins, if he so chooses... No, excuse me, he doesn't have a smoke grenade. Neither does Muffin. There it is. Okay, the smoke rains through. So now they've got Zed control. Now they transition into the highway to A-side split. Had they not had that smoke, things could have gotten tricky, but they will continue to be difficult, seeing as Shank takes himself too. NK gonna find a bit of a response as the T-side continue to push into the bomb site, but there is still a player on Fork, and so he finds another one. Duck additionally taking a frag, and no, a 3rd. Suddenly, we are down to just Velox on the CT side, and he has 2 incredibly tagged targets in front of him. No utility to play. If he had a frag, he could sail it on over to maybe find one, but he'll have to rely on the weapon, and you can see he has no clue as to where they are. Very cautiously keeping his attention towards forklift, but 1 player on standard, 1 player on quad. The flashbang's going... Oh, no, he doesn't throw it, and it's a fake! He falls for the fake! Velox turning his attention to the smoke grenade, so aware that that flash could rain high, and yet... it never arrives. T-side, 8-11 now, as they close out that one. It could have been a very potential retake, but unfortunately for Barrage Esports, it's a lost round, and it puts them back into pistols and utility.
Yeah, such a shame as well because just so little HP on SKUM Gaming. I think like 40 HP total. It could have been such a great retake in a 1 versus 2 on the A site. But sadly not to be. Barrage, like you said, back to just CZs, Deagles, P250s. A little bit of utility to use, which they have kind of expended. But right now they're sitting on 2 flashbangs and a smoke grenade. And holding close range angles, looking for those close range picks. It will be Hawkins that actually does have a great read on towards Shankton. Tags him down to just 25 HP in this round. Once again, should just be another standard run over for the T side. SKUM should just be able to enter onto sites very, very easily and just be able to shut down any of the CT players. But even then, it looks like, well, most of the forces over towards the A half of the map. It could be a very easy A hit. If they go for it now, then Barrage will basically have nothing to stop them with. Now holding at highway is all it will be. Easy smokes over towards the cross, and then SKUM should be in a very good position. But instead, they're actually going to rotate to the B site instead with 50 seconds left on the clock. And that's where Barrage have a great stack. This could be a good opportunity for them to pick some of those AKs out of the hands, do some damage, if not, have a great round in terms of their eco, and hold on to a couple for the next round. Or maybe, in some lucky circumstance, pick up a victory here. Flashbangs, smokes, Molotovs, here we go. Here comes the push from SKUM Gaming.
3 players to the back, and now Velox as well from on high. They have verticality and also a Wandig. Velox finding the first, but now a player has been rooted from the back of the site. Muffin inside of headshots, going to continue forward, and they find all 3 of those players. That was very methodic corner checking from SKUM Gaming. You'd think after the first, maybe even after the second, you'd start to give way your attention, but no, they clear out every single player. And they've only lost 1. That opening Deagle headshot is all that will be found from Barrage Esports. And we will give credit to Velox. That was a great kill. But unfortunately, the rest of the players on the site unable to find themselves kills themselves. And so, 11-9 the score. Barrage Esports with another buy-in, however. An AWP in the hands of Wong once more. We did see him have impact in that opening half. And so, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the key to a victory here for Barrage's CT side. Because it has now been almost as long as them not having a round as we saw them start the game. Very convincing opening T-halves from both teams at this point.
Yeah, it was like you said, that methodical retake, or that methodical take coming in from the SKUM Gaming side. Great teamwork, picking up 3 kills pretty much almost instantaneously. And, well, that is what's going to win you against individual play here from the SKUM Gaming side. AK's out, still for the T side. Barrage have that AWP in play on Wong. And his position will be fairly interesting. He's watching that boost spot, which Hawkins, he has been boosted up there. So if he goes peeking, then this could be that first pick in the favor of Barrage, which would be what they want to find. And a great first start for the CT side. Because SKUM Gaming, they're starting to catch up a minute to go on the clock. This mid push could be all the bee's knees for them. Smoke out from the Barrage side will push them away for a little bit. But Muffin still with his aggression will keep it up. 50 seconds now. SKUM. Well, bomb's on its way over towards the B side. It looks like the rest of the T-Force are making their way over there. So this could be another great B push, which, well, it worked out well for them in the last round. Why wouldn't it work out here? They still got to face off against those AWPs and M4s. So here we go. 35 seconds. Another B hit coming in for this T side.
And nobody inside of checkers for the fast rotation. There could be a player to aggress onto vents, but Duck is still anchoring mid. Keep your eyes on him as the execution moves forward. They've given enough time for another player to rotate in, and here comes the utility raining over the wall. In the back of the bomb site, we've got 2 players, but now Filler is able to burn Wong alive, leaving Velox on his lonesome with support from Vent. Velox takes down 1, but he's quickly traded back. NK as well, additioning frags, and suddenly it's down to Neto. So this execution forward, while filled with multiple gunfights in multiple locations, all seem to go in favor of SKUM Gaming, or at least for the most part. They have taken a lot of damage, but not enough damage to justify Neto the 1v3 retake attempt. He still had a utility to play, but no kit as well, so by the time he had fought his way to the back lines, it's very possible that the time had worked against him. SKUM Gaming going to be finding themselves that double digits. 10-11 will be the score as Filler finds that last frag, denies any potential save, and puts his team in a great opportunity to continue forward with this. I mean, we had 6 rounds to the start of Barrage's T-side, and now that has been mirrored here by SKUM Gaming. And if anything, I would say more convincingly. We're not relying on saves here. This is absolute just sheer aggression into bomb sites and finding frags. They haven't even had to rely on bomb explosions to win rounds. It's just been pure kills. 6 rounds in a row. However, this was when SKUM Gaming found their response. Can Barrage do the same with pistols? Unlikely. They do still have a couple flashbangs to play, Deagles and CZs, but they're going to have to be relying on the weapons in the following round.
Yeah, the key thing about this as well is that Barrage haven't also been doing that great of a job of controlling the SKUM economy. They've got plenty of money to work with, even if they lose this round. What's been really cool about this, and what's been really kind of cool for the SKUM gaming side, is that Barrage, their trading play that we saw coming out in the first half, isn't in effect in this one. I mean, their CT side in terms of their trading is just not working out well. SKUM always seem to get the advantage, even when trades come back and forth. SKUM have that edge, and then they're able to trade even further to their favor, which is what led to that 1 versus 3 in the last round. So for them, this is a great chance for them. This is a great opportunity to be able to even things up and potentially take it even further. Barrage in a very awkward spot with these pistols, and well, not a whole lot of opportunities and potential going into the next few rounds. Velox holding close range angles, seeing if he can pick off NK. This would be a great start for the CT side, but for the most part, SKUM Gaming playing it slow, not giving them anything to harp on, not giving them anything to punish, as it will actually be a little bit of a different split from the highway and from Squeaky. It will be executing on towards the A site. Meanwhile, Barrage going aggressive. Velox and Peto might set up a very nice backstab, as it will be one on site to defend against this T side push.
Now, Neto just actually bought a lot of time there, and suddenly this T-side is looking in multiple directions. There's pistol damage being dealt as well, and a hands on an AK in Velox. So Shank will off another CZ, Wong with the Deagle. Suddenly it's just down to Duck in a 1v4.
Oh my god!
They all go down. SKUM Gaming had themselves the entry, and I believe that all starts with Neto. He had himself behind the forklift off of the Deagle, knew that there was pressure coming in from Squeaky, but was able to just inch his way into A main. Suddenly, the players who should have been pushing into the bomb site had to come back to help his teammate find that player and unroot him from inside the building. By the time that they re-entry into the bomb site, suddenly there's CTs breathing down their neck, and they are able to find the round off of the pistols. That is superb, and it is in the exact fashion that we saw SKUM win their first CT side round in the first half. That was just so sick to watch.
That was totally came out of left field for me on the Barrage side. Some very nice 1Ds coming in, and just once again that hold from Neto, like you said, that couldn't have gone any better for the CT side. Only losing one player, recovering 4 AKs during that last round, but to give them not only the AWP and 4 AK running on their CT side of all things, but a huge advantage in terms of relieving their economy and investment into this round. They're sitting on $5,000, $4,000 of cash on their side. This is great for them, and this could really change the tide. I was talking about in the last round how the future looks bleak for them. That's all just turned into sunny days and rainbows for them. 5 AKs out for the SKUM Gaming side. They will try another B push because it worked so well for them during this half, and it looks like they're going to be going early for this one. All 4 players, a 5th rotating on through, going to start stacking their way on through. This will be the Molotov, the smokes, going to be heading out towards the the B main side. Here we go. Molotov's counter-acting from the Barrage side. We'll hold them off for a little bit of time. They've still got 40 seconds on the clock, so there is some to work with as Peto sprays on through, gets some nice tag damage, but it won't stop this T side at the end of the day. Velox trying to see if he can fill the boots of filler. Peto gets one. Hawkins chimes back and opens up the site, and Wong is taking some no-scope, seeing if he can find anything whatsoever, but it's not going to happen in this case. There will be no hero play through the smoke, as the bomb should go down. Barrage might have a very good retake on their hands here. Just 20 seconds to go now. 4-on-3 retake coming in.
Oh, Filler's position so unexpected. He's able to peek wide onto Wong and find the headshot. Shanked as well, falls. What an unorthodox spot. And he's already able to find himself 2 frags. He's quickly behind the last remaining CT player who does come in from checkers. But Filler's not going to have to find that kill. It will be Hawkins to take the last. 12-11. Still, we are mirroring the very first half. I'm interested to see how long this trend will continue. The hard reset for the CT side. SKUM Gaming were able to get their feet underneath them towards the very last 5 rounds of the half. But this time around, they will force the issue with the buy. Double CZ, double M4, and an AWP to boost. Utility, healthy, and an opening frag to kick this one off.
Fantastic start for the Barrage side. They need that first pick because this force buy is going to leave them with 2 pistols despite it. Armor, a little bit of limited amounts of utility. That AWP from Wong is going to be the power play, and he's already put it into great effect taking that first pick. Hawkins has fallen. SKUM Gaming up for a 4 versus 5 here on the Barrage side. Well, they need a couple of lucky shots. They need a couple of good plays. They need some headshots to even things out here. 11-12. Almost evened up on the SKUM Gaming side. And this CT round is going to be fairly crucial for them because it should be a reset coming in despite that. After that, there will be no rifles out for the Barrage team. And this is great for SKUM because that means they can have a double eco. That would be fantastic for them to take the lead and potentially push within like rounds of touching distance of that match point here. So it will be them setting up towards the A site. Once again, this didn't go so well last time, but this time it's going to be the Squeaky main push rather than Highway Squeaky, as it will be Shanked on the board to defend here. There's Neto holding out from the forklift area. We'll get Mollied away for a little bit. It's not going to happen today. There's nothing going to come in. Muffin is going to see what he can find. It's going to be Neto spraying on through. Takes down one, but he can't take down a second, who shuts him out with the AK 3-on-3 situation. The AWP is still in play for long. Spots out. Duck take.
Or at least put up a damn hell of a fight. And that one was convincing. 13-11. They dodged the hard reset. The force buy. I mean, let's keep in mind they did have a double M4 op coming into the round, so there was a fighting chance, and they're able to use that disadvantage to avail. And here they are with a full buy-in. Now, luckily for SKUM Gaming, they're still in a position to contest this. 5 AKs across it. There's still money in the bank if they really have to get down to the nitty-gritty. But for now, they remain in a decent position. They've got 4 players inside B main just all lined up and waiting for some sort of a push. But with the CT side already boosting Velox into the vents, there's no real reason for them to...
Oh no.
the smokes blocking players out from the heavens and below. Duck finding a kill inside of the headshot as Wong takes another with the op shot. 3v3. Barrage on the other side of the grenades here. All 3 players coming in from either heaven or CT spawn, and NK takes another kill through the smoke. That could be the nail in the coffin. 2 CTs remain. What can they do?
Yeah, I'm afraid I've dropped for a quick second, so unfortunately the GoTV has frozen for me.
I got you.
So, yeah,
CT's
I'm
going to lose another. NK finds the op shot and then swaps out to the AK. That will be the nail in the coffin. They're able to convince Pedo to go tuck tail and save yet again. And so, SKUM Gaming, just as they had done in the previous round, are able to reset things. There is no consecutive rounds in the last 4 now. This is literally back and forth Counter-Strike. 13-12, 1-point round difference. We couldn't get much closer as we continue forward. The CT economy is not going to be looking too great after this. However, seeing as they did justify the buy the previous time they were reset, we know that they are very well capable of fighting off of the back foot.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a good opportunity for them here. I'm not sure how the round has actually turned out. I'm going to assume this was a CT hold, judging from what you were saying.
T-side after plant hold. CT's going to make the retake.
Okay, my mistake. Sorry, I'm a little bit fluffed trying to get this thing together. I'm afraid this has been a small problem coming in for our side. Yeah, I'm just trying to load up the GoTV, which doesn't seem to have worked.
Oh, I'll keep it going. Don't worry.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're in. 3 M4s, CT side, looking healthy. Holding on to plenty of nades as well. Now, these 2 pistol players, where have they gotten themselves? We've got Pedo inside of the Z connector and Wong up close and personal off B. I think this is a really good spot for him to be playing. Seeing as he has been in the back of sight, they may not expect a player up close and personal. And once they get past the half of the doorway, seeing that headshot and backside are clear, they might just suppose that there's no one here and he can peek wide for those 2 kills. So, keep your eyes on that one. SKUM going to be inching their way for the majority of this. Still inside of A main, still inside of middle. We've seen them just try to slow down the pace of rounds previously, and they've done that once more. Seeing, of course, as they have taken damage, they have a reason to do so. But they have already burnt off a minute from the clock. 45 seconds remaining to play. 2 CTs inside of the A-bomb site, where the terrorists are currently primed to strike. No support coming in from SKUM off the B site, as NK is all on his lonesome. Grenade's going to rain on out. Molotov to the back of Forklift. Just going to try to burn the players out of position as the T side pushes forward. The flashbangs obscuring their vision, but it will be Muffin to take the first and Filler takes the second. An additional smoke grenade to section off the truck push allows for the bomb to be planted for A main after plant. This will be a very difficult retake for Barrage Esports, and so I think they're just going to tuck tail and save the M4, head out towards the B site, where they find NK and an additional rifle. Now they have to save. This is actually a decent spot for them to try and fight back into. They went for the force buy. It didn't work out, but 2 players on rifles with utility and Kevlar Do not force the issue. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen.
True words couldn't be spoken. Barrage not on the greatest set of economy. Very little amount of money on this side. $500 at the maximum on Peto. So these rifles will be very key going into the next couple of rounds. Barrage will do very, very good to save, so that is exactly what they will do. SKUM Gaming will go hunting, but I don't think they want to overextend themselves to the point of where Barrage are holding out on the halls. SKUM will finally even things up 13-13 here on their T side. And this has been, well, two T sides that have been pretty monster coming out from both sides. SKUM and Barrage been working this extremely well, and now with the current situation, like, at this point, Barrage with some very nice CT rounds. This one could go either way at this point, I think.
Well, I mean, oh, this is going to be a fast A play. We'll come back to this idea. CT is going to have to very quickly hold this off. The terrorists already pushing their way out into the A site. Peto off of the ump, up close and personal, takes the spray, but he will not find a frag. Damage dealt, however. Shanked finding a bit of a response with the CZ of his own, but the bomb should go down here as all three our CT players have now rotated up close and personal. So there is not going to be any time saved in this round. They want to just sheer aggress forward, back into the site to go for the retake. They have no kit. They have one flash remaining, and now the Molotov forces Neto out of his position. He peeks wide to the standard, goes down to duck. Here's NK with an additional frag as Velox and Wong chime in for the CT side. 2v2. Wong with an additional, goes down. Filler with the trade. Velox as well. Filler up close, no sir, goes for the flash, swaps to the AK, sprays wildly, and won't find the frag. And there's plenty of time for the defuse. That was hectic.
Barrage, you said they needed to save, and indeed they did, and look where it got them. 14-13 now, up for a full buy up against SKUM Gaming, who will also be up for a full buy of their own. Lots of money saved in the last few rounds, but for this next one, it could look flaky. This entire matchup could rest on this next round. AKs, M4s, AWP in play for the Barrage side. And meanwhile, the SKUM Gaming side will once again rock that 5 AK setup. Not confident with their T-side AWPs, which could make a significant difference for them. But so far, it has worked out well, bringing this thing back to a very close scoreline. This one's down to the wire now. Barrage set up once again a great defensive, very aggressive defensive. Two players, well, one player up towards the top of the middle, and one also sitting towards the vents area watching middle. And this will be a very interesting setup coming from the Barrage side. They've only actually got one player directly on either site. So for SKUM Gaming, well, this could be exploitable, especially if they head towards A. This can be one pickup from MBK, and that shuts down pretty much the entire defensive. They'll have a bomb plant, and this will have to be the retake coming in for the CT side.
Peto is in position to contemplate the rotate, but he's actually going to stay inside of middle, seeing as he's opened up at the opening frag. Hawkins going to find the return, though, and then an additional kill. 4 versus 3 here to the favor of SKUM Gaming, and immediately they're just going to transition into the A-side execution. This makes absolute sense. You've weakened the mid, so odds are this rotation should be slower. There's going to be max 2 players here, and that's exactly the case. Peto able to find 1 kill, though, through the top of the smoke. Neto as well going to at least put a wrench in the works and slow things down to the 2v2 as the bomb will be planted. Utility here in favor of the CTs, but my goodness, they've gotten themselves an additional kill. The flashbang's gonna blind up Peto. Great nade from Hawkins, and suddenly a 1v1 is what we've got to work with. Wong off of the P250, seeing as the op is on his back. Footsteps heard. Hawkins peeks wide, and the shot was missed. So, SKUM Gaming find an additional round. They bounce back once more, and Barrage is put back into a questionable economic state. I mean, here's really been, like you said, Jay, there have been convincing T-side halves from both teams, but I actually favor the CT side of SKUM at this point because they strung their 3 rounds together while Barrage have having to force buy time and time again. The resets have really been difficult for them to survive, and now look, there's finally consecutive rounds, or rather another upset in favor of SKUM, and suddenly Barrage CZs, a UMP. This is not the buy down that SKUM used to get their CT rounds. This is a whole new ball game, and Barrage Esports are certainly at the disadvantage. SKUM Gaming could be getting themselves a 15th and securing overtime. They slow things down yet again, just as they have versus multiple pistol rounds. They are going back to the textbook playstyle that has won them previous rounds. Why wouldn't it work out? Barrage Esports has to come up big.
Indeed, they do. In fact, in that last round, I just want to make a mention that Hawkins got himself a full ace to hold off the CT retake. 5 kills for him, doing absolute work for the SKUM side. perfectly played from them. And like you said, the economical situation is not looking good for the Barrage side. They've got CZ's a UMP to work with in this next round, and once they lose it, that'll be a full reset. There will be no money to work with in the next round, just 5-7s at the best. And then after that, well, 15 to 14, 16 to 14 will be the likely scoreline, as now it will be early picks, early tags over towards middle, just 11 HP. Veloc's going to get taken down, as now it will be SKUM heading up towards the B site. Only no one, well, there was only Velox there to hold it, and he will be taken down, so the bomb's going to get planted. SKUM in such a good position here for this retake from Barrage. Has to come in. They have no choice. They cannot save, else it will be a very difficult round for them in this case. Grenades, smokes will land, tag damage, holding off the CT side. This has to be a monster force coming in from the Barrage team.
They actually have the discipline to go for the save here. Is that what they're contemplating? Because they've allowed, that's exactly what they're doing. They're just going to allow for these players to exit, try to grab frags. They are able to do one and done out towards CT spawn. Hawking's going to quickly quell that threat. Now, player inside of middle also dropped. NK killed. And this leaves it all down to Neto, who also falls. So suddenly, that potential save was for absolutely nothing. Had they tried to force the issue, then maybe they get some kills, but unfortunately for them, they lose all 5 of their players in the round. So they don't even attempt a retake, and they have nothing to show for that patience. Unfortunately for Barrage, 15 rounds has been found for SKUM Gaming, and the economy still not all too heavy. Barrage on the double ump and triple pistol setup. They've got some utility to play. They've got the Kevlar, no kit. It's going to be tough, but we've seen them do more with less, Jay, so I won't count them out just yet. The 30th round is upon us.
Overtime or bust for this CT side. They cannot afford to let this round slip, else it's going to be all over, and we will go to map 2 with an advantage in the favor of SKUM Gaming. So my prediction will, of course, as usual, be wrong. AK's in the play for this T side. Plenty of utility to work with. A very standard buy from the SKUM Gaming team, and a setup that's worked for them time and time again. Something that the Barrage side has had a supreme amount of difficulty managing to conquer and managing to counter. 1 minute to go. No particular site favoured at present for this T side, playing for picks, although taking a look at the current potential, well, Duck could get himself a couple nice kills here, as it will be 3 players pushing into the A main side, trying to once again force the issue, but well, not going to happen. They're actually going to back off and get the information that, well, there's a bomb over towards this main area. Might come to us. It might not. Honestly, considering the tactics of the SKUM Gaming side, anything can happen at this present point. It looks like it will be an A hit anyway. 1 player over towards the B site lurking. As NK spots out a couple of them, and we'll just rotate away. So here we go. A site hit. Here come the smokes. Here come the molotovs. Here come the flashbangs. SKUM Gaming to close it out. 30 seconds. Hitting the A site.
Going to be shanked up close and personal here. CZ in hand. Flashbang rings out. He takes the first headshot. Not going to be able to find the second as Muffin and Duck take 2 to their name. Velox finds the trade, but Filler will come out on top with an additional kill. And NK inside middle. The flank not nearly connecting as the frag rains forward. He could have maybe found the team kill, but Muffin will find the last 2. Done and dusted. Yet again, a chaotic and hectic situation closes out the round. And somehow, someway, SKUM come back from a 4-11 start to close out this game 16-14.